Alright, we got a nice colorful flake. It's got some curve to it. This end's all yucky anyways, so we'll probably just knock that off. We'll start out, get our little bag of tricks. This is dropped on the ground. That's the way I roll. If I ain't dropping stuff, I'm not making stuff. Put my little glove on. Don't really need it for Flint Ridge, but you know, some things never hurt. Glasses so I can see. I unplugged and uncovered my electric skillet so that it can start to cool down. Put up my tools over there. Big pad of leather I never use. That's my pressure flaking pad. Safety glasses. You can see how often I use them. Don't tell anybody, I'll get banned. The internet will be after me. The worst guy in the world. I even found my measuring stick, so let's see where we're starting at. I'm not going to count this end because it's not going to go, so we're going to start at 2.5 inches, 1 3/4 wide. See what we end up with. A couple of my handy dandy bobbers out. My little roll I like better. I'm going to get that one out and put the other one away. Braiding stones. Won't need any hammer stones. Might use this little piece of leather. Alright. Hopefully, I review this video. And I think I got the camera pointed good, so... did that just happen? Looky there. Quartz right in the middle. Well, we'll make one out of this then, and we'll make another one out of this. I guess what they say, hitting on the end is not good. But you see, we still got 2 inches, 1 1/4. Got to echo now because there's no fan or nothing on. Get our indirect stick. Start doing a little bit of planning. I want my heavier. I like this one. It's heavier, so I can hit slower and drive longer usually. See, that's why I need like 3 abrasive sticks, because I just do that non-stop. And there we got a nice little ridge off. I don't know if you can see that, but I make it pretty steep and round because I got some gunk right there I need to blast through. Yep, there we got it. Now I was holding that, for those of you wondering. This is the piece, here's my stick. I was holding that about that angle. And I drove that off. There's a bug right there, so we're just going to get rid of it. We're not going to wait for that to cause us a problem. Now, we could hit this, but you see it goes up and then down. It'll just hinge right there. So, even though that's a good low spot, I don't want to go for that right now. We're going to use the coarse abrader. Knock this spot with the quartz pretty solid. And hopefully we can thin some of that out. Now notice I went over to the side. Now I'm going to come over to the side here and come right down this ridge. I'm not attacking that directly. It'll just step. Where that black meets that red, will just step if it's too much. Oh, see, there's a little birdie flake. Now, next time when I turn around, I can come this way and it'll clean that out. And now you can see I've got a low spot and I've got a nice ridge. I can abrade this. And get that rough, you know, what I call yucky spot out. There we go. Cleaned that right up. Now we come from the other side. Dang. It didn't show, but, you know, Flint Ridge, you gotta live with stuff. And I think that was me because I dove that flake and made it real weak right there. And when I hit over here, you know, it just split it. But, you know, 2 birdies. 3, some little baby pressure flakes. But, oh, it's like embarrassing myself on camera. Whenever I try to record, it always seems like things go wrong. Now, how I'm looking at this is going to be my tip. This is going to be my tip. It'll still give me 2 inches. This will be my base. At least 1 inch, so I'm good for hunting. Now, this is already, you can see, thin. So I'm not trying to drive any thinning. I want to save my thinning for leveling once I get to my shape. Now my other strategy is, this is my best side. So when I get this shaped, I want to do the nicest flakes I can on this side. And the obverse or reverse has some problems. It's got some grainy stuff. So I'll do that last. And see, that black is tough. Now, I'm not going to go to my exact shape because I need to have some room in case something happens. But I got this square edge to deal with, so I stopped on this side. It's pretty close. I'm going to zigzag over here or take it down. Let's try this beveling. I like to bevel more than zigzag. If I could bevel, I go for that. And as long as you have a flake, you can kind of get away with it. Till you hit a spot that's not lovable. See, I got that spot right there. It's kind of quartzy. It doesn't want, I just need to get that one little bit beveled. There we go. A bit of grinding. That black stuff again is not, it's not very friendly, but we got flakes over halfway. We got one little spot. Let's try some pressure. As we just sharpened our pressure flaker. I'm hoping with the camera up there, you'll be able to see my pressure flaking better. This stuff does pressure flake really nice. Got a little bit of a rough spot there, so I'm just going to do a little bit of zigzagging. And now the other side. Get my braider. I'm just pressure flaking on this side because it's got this white. This white is actually really quartzy and tough. And I don't want to hit it and break it like I already did a couple times today. So I'm going to pressure flake. You can see that white right there. That is terrible stuff. I basically go on either side of it until I can get it low enough to take it off. There we go. That side looks pretty good. One little hingy area where that black is, but we'll get rid of that. Now we're going to take short flakes to bring this to center, and then we're going to push the other side. Just little short flakes. See, I got that hard white spot by going on either side and getting the flint from all around it and then pushing it off. Sweet. Now, I'm going to go from below that black and try and shoot up. And hopefully, yeah. See, the step was here. And I came at an angle. Instead of trying to take the step, I came at an angle. And it pulled that step out. And when I'm using this notched pad, I don't ever do it in the middle. I'm always on the edge. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but when I used to not use the middle, it used to break a lot more. But, you know. Now these flakes are in because I want the surface to roll. It's not pushing down like a bevel. I just want to keep going until I get over when I look down the center, so I can abrade and then just push straight in. So I don't have anything wasted on what they call rolling the edge so that I can flake the other side. No rolling the edge. As little as possible. There we go. Now, I got my rough shape, and if you look at it from this end, you can see this is smooth and convex. That side's basically done. Now I just have to start over here on the other side, pick a low spot. Don't go for the moon because it's all wrinkly. It's not going to go. I just want to start getting it smooth. Maybe a braid just a little. When you're doing these little flakes and working the tip, the less you abrade, the easier those flakes will come off. And you've got to have that convexity, or your flakes aren't going to go anywhere. See, we almost got that hump off. Oh my gosh. I need a thing so that I don't drop stuff. Can't see without my reading glasses on at that distance. Now that was that hard white spot. You notice I had to take one flake this way, which is why I left width, because now my tip's going to have to come over. But we got through that without too much trouble. I hope you can't see me biting my lip every one of these flakes, worrying that it's going to snap in half. A pretty nice recovery there. And since I didn't bevel it, this is sharp this is sharp right there. If you try, like my finger won't even, it grabs. It's sharp, it's ready to cut me. So I'm going to work the tip back. First I'm going to bring this side in a little bit. And I'm going to do that by maybe I'll braid it kind of heavy. And I'll get my indirect. Yeah, I want to take on this. See, that black stuff is crumbly. I knew better than to do that, but it's not too bad. I can still recover. See that? I just folded that big piece out of there. But remember, I knew this was going to be the yucky side. There we go. Now this side's not bad. It just has that big step that I'm not going to be able to get. You know, especially because if you look at it, all the mass is on, this side. But if you mounted it, put it in an arrow, it'll be good to go. Let's see if we can peck it. Maybe we break the whole thing right here. Take our steel tool. Okay, didn't get it all, but it's down to a reasonable level. Now we just got to put some notches, a little stem. Now what I'm doing is probably not the proper way to notch, but I'm keeping that edge sharp and I'm pushing in the middle of my blade until it's seated and then pushing it off. It's the only way I can get any kind of notching to run. And a lot of times I blow off the barbs. But today doesn't appear to be one of those days. Now I do have a tool for when I get in trouble notching. Oh, that's not it. Is this an indirect with the thin blade from a steel nail? I can put it barely in that stalled notch, hit it, pop it out. 60-40, 60% of the time. Well, it always breaks the rock, but 40% of the time you're going to find out that, you know, it popped an ear off or something. All right, there we go. Looks pretty good. Not too bad profile. Notches are hopefully not too bad. Please don't critique me too hard on notches. I just started notching. There we go. One flint ridge point. Nethers flint ridge.